Hey everybody, welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place for tips, tools, and strategies to help take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. And every Tuesday, we have the digital diva in the house. Terry Johnson online all the way from New York City. So get back, get your pen, get your paper, sit back, get ready to learn because TJ is going to bring another episode that's going to take us a little further to the top. Take it away, TJ.
Hey everybody, I hope we are all ready for another marketing topic this week. And it's always exciting to bring these, talk about these things to me because I'm like, okay, this is the best time ever to start your business, grow your business. And it seems like there's a lot of tools and a lot of overwhelm and a lot of knowledge. But if you listen to us, if you come here every week, every day, really, you're going to get the tips and the tools and the strategy and the know-how. So that's what we're talking about today. And I'm still on content because content is a big deal. It's really big. Excuse me. It's really big. I mean, I don't think people know how big you're having the right content, and that's
Right.
that's the purpose of the topics that I'm bringing. So today I want to talk about finding what works. How do you find the content that works? How do you know? And what I mean work is that is hitting with your target audience. It's resonating with them. They're engaging with it. They're asking you questions. They're asking how this or how do I, that kind of thing, because that's what you want. Likes are good, but what do you do with likes? You can't take them to the bank. I always say you can't take that to the bank. We want to build this relationship where we're creating the content, we're getting people to come on over to our own media, and then we can talk to them and give them the thing they need. So how do you do that? There's a tool. There's a tool that's built into all of your social media platforms. It's called analytics.
Hmm.
That's how you know. Well, how do I know what to post? Well, what's the best time? What's the this? What's the that? Analytics answers that question for you. That's where you find the content that works. So, in order to get those analytics, what do you have to do? You have to post.
Right.
So, I don't know what's going on online, but there's a thing where I have to have the perfect post. It has to be perfect. Well, how do you get the perfect?
Uh, uh,
How do you get the perfect? There's a
practice,
saying. How do you get the Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice.
practice.
How
That's
do you get
good.
the best content? Post, post, post. It's really simple. It's really simple. So what you do is you post what you think your audience is going to like, respond to. I put something on my Instagram. Let me pull it up. I wanted to bring it up just to say, because I'm like, okay, we got to put this. So I put make content that will educate, entertain, or inspire your audience. That's it. Now, there's lots of ways to make content. There's lots of forms. We talked about those: blog posts, video, text content, graphics, photographs, reels, TikTok stuff. You take your pick. And what you do is you post and see how that goes. And then the next day you post something different. So if you post an image today, post a reel tomorrow. Then after that, do a little, take your phone and do a little voice recording into your phone and post that with a graphic or an image or a photograph.
I like that one. I'm writing that down because that just made easier. Do you understand? And I like the concept. We
Hmm.
can post every day
Yeah,
because because you're not doing a YouTube video every day.
right.
You're doing something every day.
Right, we're not filming Cleopatra. That movie took like forever to, or whatever movie. We're not writing War and Peace. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to hit the target with your audience. How do you find that out? You post. I don't see did I see this question everywhere online. Well, how do what kind of content do I make? Just make anything. But when I say anything, I don't mean that you just post, without thought. And we talked about that. We talked about the process of making epic, great content and the things you have to do. So keep those things in mind, but post. Don't say, well, I don't know what to post. It has to be perfect. I'm afraid that it's only going to get 1 like or 0 likes. That's not possible. Not possible. If you are following the steps that we talked about with making content, making epic content, making content that connects. And that's why I put that post up. Make content that will educate, entertain, or inspire your audience. Those are the things those are the targets you have to hit today. And we talk about TikTok all the time. And I said for a long time, you didn't have to dance. It's proven me right time and time again. When I go on TikTok myself, or I hear a news story on the news, I think they were saying there's some doctor that he's like big on TikTok. I forgot what he talked about, but he doesn't dance. He gets on and talk. So what is he doing? Educating. So you educate if that's your thing. If you're in service, you need to educate. And if you're not comfortable with dancing, don't dance. If you want to dance, go right ahead. But you don't have to. You don't have to.
So what I got so far is that I need to post a little each day on my platforms.
Yes. Yes. Because that will allow you to see what works. And how do you see what works? You go to your analytics. So for example, Instagram, if you go, you don't have to look at all those numbers. You can look at your post. There's a blue link right under your post on the left that says view insights. It couldn't be any easier. So you tap that. And see my last post, it got 7 hearts, 1 save. It says 2 actions from this post. Profile visits, 28 accounts reach. Then it goes into impressions, impressions is the number of times it was served. Reach is the number of people that saw it or possibly saw it. And Instagram will even tell you where it came from home, from hashtag, from other. And it will tell you follows. And then because Meta is in the business of making money, at the bottom of this insight tab, it says boost this post. So if I wanted to, I could boost this post. Boosting will expose it a little bit more, and you will get more reach and impressions and more exposure, but you don't really have to. Boosting is like a ad, like a light ad. Like you don't really go into ad manager and set the placements and this and the budget, all that. You just say, hey, $5, boost this, and you get a little, it's like a little that's why they call it boost.
Good morning, Yolanda.
Good morning. So I mean, that's what I mean about finding content that works. It's so easy, but we are making it difficult. And I know we are, because I see the questions. I see the confusion. I go in my groups on Facebook. I go on Twitter. I go, well, how do I do this? And how do I get more? And I'm like, well, you have to do more in order to get more.
Right. See, gone are the days where you put your ad in the yellow pages and cross your fingers and make sure that you had the AAAA so that people saw you in the yellow page first.
Right.
Okay. Now you have to go out and talk about what you do. You have to be social. You got to get out the house. Hi.
Hey, how you doing? Ask questions. How are you today? What's going on with you? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
And I've heard it said that you talk about what you do. What is it? You demonstrate, you document what you do. Like
yes,
making cookies.
Yes.
I can be, oh, I'm here, record. I'm at the store, I'm buying groceries, I'm making cookies this week.
And there's a good example in the chat, Yolanda. What does
Yes,
she do?
she makes soap.
And what's her content? Showing us she's making the soap.
And showing us the process that she's been talking about, the process.
And then I think one I saw, she's like, oh, this was a mistake, but she turned it into something. That's content that works for her audience.
Do you think sometimes people struggle because they don't know what they do yet? They
I
haven't
think I
figured
think
that out?
that's a big part of it. I agree with that. And I called it message, knowing your message. I think I talked about it maybe last year. I'll talk about it again. But that's another part of it. You have to know your message. You have to know what you're saying. You have to know what you're about. But again, if you're in business, that was step one, right? That was step one.
And I think because we have a lot of people who are just getting into this, and they're not quite sure who they are or what they do.
But
And
that goes to business as a whole. Like, you're a
right.
business owner, that should been step one. What
Okay.
am
So
what
we're
is my
talking.
message?
Yeah, so what am I talking about? What Okay, so I figured out I'm good at making quilts. So me taking a video or going to the quilting store to buy whatever
The
could be
ingredients. Like you said, with the making the cookies, the ingredients. There's ingredients in everything, and I don't mean a cookie or so. If you run a service-based business, there's ingredients. You don't just, okay, there's ingredients.
and when we're talking about ingredients, then there's a step and a process for everything that you do on a daily basis.
Right.
So you
So
take us on a
mhm.
trip to the store.
Let's look at that. And I was just thinking, a service-based business. If you're a salon owner, you do hair. Let's say you women's hair, specifically natural hair or whatever. There's a community for that, because those are things from being in the industry. So there's you can go to YouTube. This is another tip. Go to YouTube and see what people are saying. I don't
Or
know what to
find out
talk
what's
about.
trending over there, or find out what's,
YouTube.
yes.
And especially if we're talking about hair salons and natural hair, there's like millions of videos about black women talking about their hair, because we're talking about black women. When we say natural hair, again, I there was a big blow up on Twitter that some people got mad with someone who was not black, talking about their natural hair and how they got something happened to them about their hair. And then people were like, you're not part of the natural hair community. You're another ethnicity. So you can't. It was a big deal. So those are things, that's content right there. You could get into your opinion on why you think this person should be a part or should not. See how just paying attention to the news, or seeing a tweet, or seeing something here, or reading something there, gives you the spark of creativity of, here's my content, and this is what I'm going to talk about. And you're worrying about, is this perfect? Is this going to work? Am I going to get a negative backlash?
What I think I've been learning here lately is just the Nike concept. Just do it.
Just
It's
do
not
it.
going to be perfect. Your makeup might not be perfect. Your eyebrows may not be penciled just right. Just pull out the phone, because the opportunity to capture something sometimes is not going to just stand there and like, oh, freeze. Okay, I'm waiting on you to take this picture. I'm waiting on you to create a
We
post from me.
if you don't know, I'm going to tell you, we're past the perfection part of showing a perfect picture online. Even with Instagram, and this is because of Gen Z, which I like to follow and talk about a lot. It's because they don't want that. They don't live in that world of perfection. They show it how it is. They get on there and they cry or they do this or do, and people, older people are going like, what are they doing? That's how they are living on social media, expressing themselves. So there's no room for, I got to show the perfect picture. We're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore on social. Like, just like we used to take pictures of our lunch. Remember those days? It's like, it was full of lunch, full of food, full of. Now, if you're in the food business, yes, you're going to continue to do that because that's how
Right.
we see it. But you're doing it in an epic way. Like, there's somebody I follow on Instagram, and they do, they talk about, I forgot what type of food, but the way they present their photos is just breathtaking. The way they display it,
Right.
and I can't find them right now. But see, that's the key to it. You have to look at the trends and say what's trending. And how do you know what's trending? Is you look, you just consume. Get on Instagram and just start looking at it. I can tell you right now, for my Instagram, what's trending is video. It bugs me to death, but it's because I figured out, especially on Instagram, if I keep it muted, it doesn't play. The sound doesn't play. So I could just scroll through. But once you unmute one video, all of them, and I mean reels and everything. And
And
to me, it's annoying. But when I look at my Instagram, it's full of reels, video, 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 video.
because that's what they wanted. That's where they started turning the attention.
Right.
in
And the
Instagram.
CEO said it. He said it last year that that's what they were going to do. So that is a trend now. Everybody's doing that. Not to say that you can't post photos, because I post mine is just a simple graphic. I got the engagement I want. I didn't get 100,000 views or 100,000 likes because that's not what I'm looking for. So you have
Right.
to also be satisfied with, okay, I'm not gonna get 100 million followers. I think that's what people want. I want 100 million likes. I want this, and I'm like, well, you have to be realistic about your goals. You
So
want to reach your target audience, which ain't gonna be a million people,
no. Now
unless you're some kind of larger business and special and good for you. But
it surprised me. I did something because I did a little post and I did a little YouTube short. I'm like, I'm going to do this because the dude is outside. And I did something called 2 Reasons to Get a Tesla because the dude was outside fixing my car because they do
right,
house calls. I was
right,
like, this is genius. They
in that
came to the house.
content, right.
And so I snapped a picture. I didn't get his face or anything, but I snapped a picture of the service car and my car in the driveway. And then I went around the corner and I snapped a picture of the gas prices in the
Ooh,
area. And I put it up. I got 1,000 and something views. And I'm like, really?
because it's topical.
Right.
Gas prices, and it's the way you make the content. You didn't go, well, let me set up a shot, let me put the light. You just went out and took a picture of the dude. Right,
It was only 2 shots.
right.
I was like, okay, it
But
was a
let's look
short.
at that. It's part of the trend. Gas prices is one of those things that's going on now. People are looking at options of electric cars and like, okay, if they didn't look before, they're definitely looking now. And it's because it was simple. You didn't make up a whole story. The story was told in the 2 photos. Don't overcomplicate creating content.
Right.
And when you do that, when you post something, you look at the views, you look at the analytics, because it's there in YouTube. You can go. It's divided by live, by video, and by shorts. And
Right.
if you want to, you can. There's an app, and I use it a lot. It's called YouTube Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Let me bring it up. YouTube YT Studio, and you go in, and it gives you. There's a button at the bottom, analytics. Bam. It
So,
tells me how many channels I got in the last 28 days, how many views the channel got in the last 28 days, the top videos, all of that stuff that I want to see, overview, reach, engagement, audience, things like that. So
wow.
every platform has a way for you to find out what kind of content to make, but you have to start with making content.
Oh, they can't tell you how many people like the picture of your cookies if you didn't put them up there.
So on my YouTube, so I'm starting to do more on my YouTube, and then it was like, okay, now I'm starting to see more analytics, because when I only had a couple, maybe one videos, and so YouTube was like, I can't show you anything because you didn't do anything. I
Mm.
was like, oops, let me put some stuff up,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So that's how you find out the content that works. Well, if you don't do it, how are you going to know that it works? How are you going to know if your message resonated? How are you going to know if I take 2 pictures and make a short, it's going to get me thousands of views? Versus I gotta and I blame when you follow somebody, if there's too much information online. So there's a lot of I'll call them Instagram gurus that say batch this, do that. You can if you're a batch kind of person, but if you're an on the fly person, like boom, I'm on the street corner here, I'm like doop doop, I take a picture of the street sign or whatever's going out on the corner, and put a little message on top, and put it to my shorts or my reels or my
Hmm.
stories, and I let it fly.
Right.
Release it.
Yes, because it was in the moment. Hey, Dr. Tachi,
Hey
it,
Tachi.
it was in the moment. It's hard to capture in the moment later on. You got to catch, and try and batch that with something else. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Just make the content. Stop. I think it's because people want it to be perfect, and they're like, well, this got to get 500 views or 1,000 likes, or I'm going to be unhappy.
I was taking a class on. I'm studying YouTube, and the guys just said, I need you to do 10 titles, do 10 blah blah blah, and I did my 10 titles, and I'm looking at the video, and I kept hearing in the back of my mind, him and you just post it. Stop making it
Really?
perfect.
Oh,
Just post the
okay.
video.
So let's stop for a minute about YouTube. This is the thing, because I got some YouTube books, and I've been listening to people. I've always listened to Roberto Blake and people on YouTube, but just was like, okay, that was one of the things that was on the shelf. Okay, I'll get to that. But so now I'm getting to it. I'm like, okay, the thing about YouTube, I said this before, it's a library. It's a library. You post today, and like next year, that thing will have like so many views.
Right.
If you do the right things with the thumbnail and title, and there's SEO and keyword stuff
Right.
like, but put the video up, because you can put that stuff in later.
Right. And that was the thing. Post the video, go back and clean up the title, go back and clean up the thumbnail. You can always edit that.
Right. Because
And
remember, the YouTube, who owns YouTube? Google.
Google.
And when you search for things, do you see videos popping up? I do. And guess
You
what you see now? They have those things, the chapters. If you have a certain keyword that you search for, what you searching for on YouTube, and that person has it in their chapter section in the video, it goes straight to that section of the video. It doesn't even go to the video anymore. It goes to that section,
section
which
so
is the
that
chapter.
people can get what they're asking for
Right,
immediately.
right,
Wow.
right. And you'll see that. And you'll see that. And see, Dr. Tati says, yup.
Videos pop up all the time.
With chapters now, with the chapter feature, and it goes right to what you typed in your search.
Wow.
And the thing is, think about YouTube is the long game, and the person that can testify to that is Miss Eileen Smith. She's been on
Hmm.
YouTube for a long time.
And
Her
her
videos,
content
she got older videos that still they get views.
producing, she getting hits and producing and getting likes, and because she's probably monetized her channel,
Mm-hmm.
getting paid.
Right. But see, as business owners, you want to do the YouTube channel because it's not, and again, I've said this before, we're not on the influencer track. It would be okay to get in the ad partner, YouTube partner program, and get money from ads. But as a business owner, you're selling something, right? So
Yep.
your videos should be geared to that. That means links in the description. That means you talk about it on the video and you let it fly.
Right.
And then you can, and the thing about YouTube, they don't penalize you for doing a lot of they want more videos, more content, more people watching. So you
Right.
could come in the next day and do something else, a short. That's what the short said, that you could do a little short, like Francie said her short did that many. You just put it up. So
Right.
make the content, people. Make the content. That's how you find and when you make the content, how you find out what works? Analytics. Analytics. And the good thing about with Facebook, we didn't even bring that up. They have the business suite where I hear a lot of people, oh, I don't like the business suite. I use it because I can go in and I can post to Facebook and Instagram at the same time.
Yep.
There's analytics in there.
And
They
you're
got a
not,
new content feature, a calendar feature that tells you the optimal times to post. They have suggestions of what you should post based on the month of March. There's when you go in there, it says, oh, March 20th, March 30th, March this, March that.
yep.
So I don't know. I mean,
And
that's what
inside the business suite, you don't get all of the extra
you
that
don't
comes.
get the happy. I went to Facebook this month. Happy birthday, happy this, happy this. So I'm caught in the loop. Not that I'm complaining about that. I'm just saying that when you go to Facebook.com, you're going to get that feed part where you see your friends and family posts. Where if you're a business, you want to manage your pages.
Yeah.
You want to manage your pages.
You just want to go to the back of the store.
I want to go straight. I'm in the grocery store. I want to go straight to the milk. I don't want all the grocery store has stuff to trip you up. You going for milk, you come out with 50 things.
It's like, just let me get over there.
So that's what it is with Facebook, Facebook.com, the blue Facebook, the blue eye. So they have business.facebook.com. I use that all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it does the job of what I want to do. I have if I have to post on a client's page, I don't want to do Facebook and then I got to go to Instagram and then I got to copy and then I got to do the keyword. I mean the hashtag. No, I go into that post and done. You can even I even schedule it. It's scheduled to go out.
Right. And then I did something on Instagram for my real estate channel, and I posted something, and I thought, okay, now I got to go over here and post it on there. It was already, because I had connected it inside Instagram. It automatically went to the Facebook page, and I didn't even have to go take a trip over to that city. I could stay right here.
You could do stories in business.facebook.com.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on the website, and there's an app, the business suite app.
Right.
If you want to use your iPad, or you want to use your phone, or your tablet or whatever. I'm saying I know people, oh, they don't like it, but I'm like, it works for me.
I like what you said earlier in the program. Practice. Pull out your phone and practice with it. If you mess up, you can delete a post. If you mess up, maybe you leave the post, but you can still practice with all these tools. You don't have to, I guess, don't be scared. It's okay. But you got to get in there and start. You got to get in there and start doing something.
I think people want to win Academy Awards for their posts. What? I'm like, we trying to get Oscars for every post? Not happening. Just post, and then you go to Business Suite, and then you go to Analytic Insights. It's called Insights there, and you get trends, and you get to see your Facebook reach, your Instagram reach, your page visits, your Instagram profile visits, how many new followers, how many new likes, all of that stuff you can see. And you can see for if you go under content, it will tell you your top performing posts on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know how else can we serve you. How Facebook is saying, how else can I serve you? Here's the content that works. It's called Top Performers.
And you just rinse and repeat your top performers.
Yes. And how do you know what you're talking? And you can't do the same thing every time. Like I said, you do a graphic, you do a reel, you do a story, you do a photograph, you do text only, you do the voice thing I said about you do a voiceover over an image. That's real easy to do. There's all kind of apps that do it.
And Dr. Tachi says, and the Oscar goes to TJ for her post of the future of Instagram.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But that's it. That's how you finding content that works. And the reason why you want your content is to work, because you got to connect with the audience. You got to bring them through that journey of I know, like, and trust for them to buy from you. You just throwing up buy, oh, I'm selling this. So what? So what? Who are you? Why should I buy that? Do I need that? Did you tell me why I need that? Did you make the connection? You got to do all that stuff. And content does that.
Wow.
So there you go. Make content and then look at your analytics. Don't let the numbers scare you.
No, because see, you're talking to your audience. You have a skill set, you have a value that you bring. Like TJ, she comes here every Tuesday to talk to us about digital marketing, about social media strategies. And so she's talking from her genius. And so do you notice that she's not reading a script? And today we are going to talk about, because she's talking from her genius. And when you present from your genius, you just tell people stories about what transpired in your field of expertise.
Yeah, and one platform I don't want to leave out is Pinterest. Another one I'm starting to look at more. It was on the shelf. I was like, I got to use it more. Go to the app. If you have the business account for Pinterest set up, it will tell you your last 30 days, the overview, impressions, engagement, total audience, engaged audience, your top pins. Guess what? That means I need to make more of that kind of pin. But I have to make pins. I have to do idea pins, which is their answer to reels, like, just video. And again, it doesn't have to be video. Fran just told you she made a short from 2 images. I don't know what's holding you guys back. You're trying to be perfect. I think, my opinion, people are trying to be perfect and win an Oscar. For you, okay, put your content out, and I'm not the originator or the genius of this idea. Gary Vaynerchuk says this, other people say it. He makes content, and he said, I heard a video, he said he doesn't worry about, he says, I put out stuff and this one didn't hit, but the other one hit. And he says, I don't care, I keep throwing them out, I keep posting and moving.
Right, because he's just talking about stuff that, hey, here's a tip that I think will work for you guys, and and he says what he got to say, and he keeps it pushing. You are not. He don't come back and like, oh, wait a minute, let me rephrase that. Let me rewrite. He just says what he got to say.
Doesn't care about the perfection of it. Nope. It's like, did I say what I say? Did I say what I say? Post it and move on. Posted it. I was like, I love that. So just post it and move on, but make the content.
Post and move. You need to do hashtag post and move on.
Post and move on. And people are like, well, what's the best time? What's the best this? What's the best? Analytics will tell you that. That's how you measure it. So we're gonna talk more about that in a few minutes at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern time. We're gonna go into more of that.
Right. And you need to make sure that you connect with TJ right on over there. Let me pull this up. I got to learn how to get through. And
so many things to click. Well, you can find it here.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. See?
And then I think Terralina usually pulls this up. Let me pull that up.
Right. So yes.
That's where it'll be. So Terry Johnson Online.live. There's a post on the BizChicks Facebook page and a post on the BizChicks Facebook group.
So head over there right after here, grab a cup of coffee, grab a snack, and get on over there so that you can learn how to do this more efficiently. TJ is always here to help us through this, because social media can be difficult with everybody's voice, but you got a voice that you can trust right here. And so we trust that you're going to tune in to Terry Johnson Online live, and that you'll come back next week and tune in again.
Yeah.
We want to see you out there with your best content, changing the world that's around you. So thank you so much for tuning in today. We will be back at noon Eastern
That
time,
noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific,
Pacific time,
East Coast, West Coast time.
West Coast time. Remember, you have permission to succeed. I'm trying to remember Terry's line, but it's okay for you to succeed, and always go to the front of your own line. Talk to you next time.